Pro League where they just don't have a fleshed out map pool. They have some real distinct weaknesses, which actually gives teams with a lot of reps, like your FUTs, for example, plenty of different choices of where you want to lean this veto. And it kind of feels like no matter what you do, FUT are always going to win this veto just by kind of well, the way things panned out for Bait. They've just got some real stark holes in the map pool. But let's kickstart things. We've got the Dust2. Starting on that CT side is going to be FUT as well. T-side start for Bait as they are barreling out long. The P250, with the support of Ascential, going to find the head of Demon.
Cemetery gets a smoke down. There's a flash over as well now for them to work with. Oh, he does get overwhelmed. Not expecting that through the smoke play. Quite smart from kensizor to find that kill. All-important kill as well, as now they're able to take the A-bomb site and just work their way through. You would assume, goodness me, guys, that was a lot of work. kensizor, just thankfully the Glock has more bullets, I think, but quite messy from both of them. You know, first round of the day. Ooh. Certainly that kind of syndrome. Krabeni on the Julies is the only saving grace, and he doesn't fancy going any further than that. So
yeah, they don't have a kit, right?
Oh,
that's unfortunate. Yeah. You hate to see those. Kenzie might get more. Nope, he'll lose his life to Krabeni. Now, whether he can keep the dualies in play. Oh, damn. He absolutely can. Just a shame, honestly, that he didn't have a kit. He could have actually given us a decent look in, because Ascential's confirmed damage from that initial long fight, but not to be. This was a map, you know, good start for Bait, and this is a map that they beat Furia on. And actually pretty handily, 13-6 in that one. And they looked really, really strong. So this is kind of the one real blessing in the map pool for Bait, and if we're being frank, they kind of need it in this series to really stand a chance. This is a series that feels like if they get the Dust2, it probably swings all the way towards that third map, but without Dust2, they, in my mind, probably get 2-0'd here.
Yeah, no, it is true. It is true. I'm very, very curious to see how this goes down and if FUT have learned any lessons on this map as well. I do feel at Pro League, what we're seeing, you know, to touch on your map veto point, there's a lot of, like, recency bias, I think, in terms of the maps that are being picked. So teams are coming in and being like, okay, can we punish this one? They lost on it yesterday, or we played this yesterday, despite it not being a favorite. Bait looking really good, keeping it simple with the aggression out long as well. There's a mess of smokes and flashes over there, and FUT tried the aggression, and even I recognize that's exactly what they tried to do in their force buy yesterday against 3D Max.
Yep.
Just pummel long, and now they're 0 for 2 on that strat.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Krabeni will try and keep this rifle alive. It might be easier said than done, though. I don't think this is going to be too easy. They're going to go hunting for him. The flash will come round. He avoids it, but Ascential now spots where he is. And surely you send at least one more feeler looking for this rifle. He'll drop a smoke. Just give him the luxury of getting out. He gets spammed down. He's 1 point of HP. Yeah, he's not surviving this one. And he'll die to kensizor. Not the start that FUT wanted here. Out the gates, kind of this is a side that we know are inherently very aggressive, and Beta is sort of taking a page out of their book and flying into fights and just backing themselves in the aim duels. Generally, when we look towards this Bait side, especially with this iteration of Bait, in the past, it's always been MPL who's kind of been the leader in terms of the numbers department, but the litmus test that I always have for Bait is kensizor. He, for me, is one of the most important players on this side. He holds a lot of the high-impact roles. If he starts to really get comfy, as he is so far, that's a really good sign. That's where Bait are in the zone.
Yeah, interested to see what Sizzy can do. I don't know if you've caught them with this player.
Yeah, I've watched the game, but I've not casted a game with him.
Yeah. Okay, I've not casted either, so...
We also casted, of course,
Seikukawa.
Seikukawa, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
His debut was all right, but
everything else was...
They obviously didn't quite like him, and yeah, the decision-making as well.
I mean, debut HLTV map being I am Krakow
is 16, bro.
It's absolutely crazy.
Who's made that decision?
And also, like, just kind of considering that, like, Hetrick wasn't bad on this team at all. Like,
I think vibes might be important.
Yes.
And maybe Seikukawa also didn't...
pass the vibe check.
Yeah, pass the vibe check. Yeah, it's a very important check.
Yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah.
And, well, the new boy, Sizzy, I've seen some decent moments from him. Looks pretty sharp. Pretty crisp with the AWP when he gets out in play, so... we shall see in this series. Dust is a very good map for AWPers. A little bit more prevalent, of course, on that CT side, and well, for Bay, of course, your bonus buying into this one, and they're going to bounce in towards that B site, up close and personal, longs for 2, make that 3 as well. They're trying to run through the flames, but into the fire of that M4A1S. An easy shutdown towards the B site, and on this bonus buy, Bay offer up nothing.
looking to take some guns away, but ultimately, yeah, I think they're just trying to see what they can get away with. It's been very fast rounds thus far, swapping between long, some mid aggression, now some B aggression, and it's like, okay, lesson learned, B maybe not going to work that quickly. But we'll find out. Is there anything left in the locker, or are they going to regret just kind of lazily rushing into B and giving FUT pretty clean round to start their CT campaign?
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to be seeing as well. You can take data away from... Oh, hang on, that was a nice shot from kensizor. He's heard the steps of another as well. And try Molly to give himself some space. I'll come back to this point in a second because he's looking for fight. Oh, he just loses out to Longs, who ends up having a fantastic round there. Quad to his name. But yeah, it's a really good wave kind of for FUT. You know, we don't take too much stock in terms of half buys and the low buys. It's that first gun round is the real good look into what, well, basically FUT have on offer. He looks that surprised. I think just the blinds opened and it was oh so bright. But yeah, that's a good looking, good start. It is a bonus buy, which is again is one of those we don't take as much stock in for bait, but you want it to be a little bit competitive, and it really, really wasn't.
Just like straight contact flash rush B against the first rifle, which feels like a very, very cheeky kind of move, really. Well, we're going to find out here as things are starting to heat up a little bit more. And a little bit of a tech timeout to just sort of cool things off. Sizzy cooks up an idea, takes that opening AWP duel, looking pretty good while doing so.
Yeah, the few instances that I've seen of him when watching some of the games with Sizzy in the roster, he looks quite aggressive. He looks like he really backs himself in a lot of fights. You know, obviously, we get kind of two different styles of AWPer. We can get real combat style of AWPing, which of course has become way more prevalent in towards CS2. But we still get these like turret style AWPers, people who are very good at holding angles and the patience play and whatnot. Sizzy seems like the type of guy who's more than happy to set a bit of a tone and a bit of a pace himself, which is fun. It's entertaining Counter-Strike, but it's not always the most consistent, which is the issue with the combat AWPing. It's hard to keep that level up time in, time out. But an opener in the head-to-head against Cemetery, way for his confidence. They're going to go back over towards long. There is 3 players A, though. Potentially even the 4th rotating over. Jugs is kind of making a move back towards mid. They flash out along. Get this control. There's a lot of body towards A. This could be tough.
Yeah, this really could be. Quickly contacting up, though. They've got some players, you know, slightly more advanced offbeat of the timing. That CT defensive smoke. They will slow them down, but kensizor looking to use it to his advantage. He's the only one to have crossed in. They're using this man advantage well, right? Like, send the extra player that you have to try and get some more damage. He's going to do just that. Not quite the second. Confirms the location of a few players, though. Meanwhile, they got this guy coming in from B who's absolutely miles away from the action. I think they're just going to try and wait for him. Plant coming in. Don't take any peeks and let Senthial jump up behind. I don't know if it's going to be considered this quickly, to be honest. And of course, the CTs have just got to move into the site and try and get it going. They will indeed peek through to the Ts that were on the side, but that one was pretty locked in for me. Nice little find from Bates.
Yeah, whether it was the site players or a Senthial in the flank, that round was all but done. I think there was a way that really FUT could recover that unless they got 2 incredibly quick shots on towards the site players and then immediately took that space. But nice work. Like you mentioned, I think in the round, it's just a really good usage of that extra man that they've got. They're playing this trade game, but they're sending the feelers out quite aggressive. What you want to see? 4th on the board for Bait. Cemetery's got an AWP. It's a half buy for everybody bar him. Big investment. A hero AWP is honestly kind of rare. Got a bit of a slow start as well, so see how he pans out in this case. He needs to get at least a couple of kills this AWP, and they probably need to recover a rifle to really have a chance against the full buy of Bait. Smoke towards door, that'll trickle down. It just misses. Yeah, it does. But thankfully, it's still blocked atop. The only issue is you can maybe sometimes see gaps through it, which is what Cemetery's got. All he needs is a pixel as the smoke kind of wafts and fades around, and he'll be all right.
Also, I think Sizzy sees a gap himself as he was sort of trundling along short there, and he's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, that smoke's not quite worked then. Does the job, starves most of the information away, and they're still able to do what they want here, which is indeed a B split. FUT have got 3 players on the B bomb side itself, though. Yes, they're on that lower buy, but indeed could still be very, very effective here. They get a smoke down of their own. It's 4 in from tunnels. They always make me so nervous, man. However, Alex is the one to catch, and that AWP will be dropped for now. The other player as well trying to recover the AWP, so the whole numbers game goes against them. He just does not know where they're coming from. That is unfortunate. Symmetry was right place, right time, but decided to abandon the position and lost his life.
Yeah. I think it's all for Symmetry. He was a little bit scared of if they are going for a full rush in towards the B of all 5 in this direction, which you shouldn't really be expecting of a lurk smoke, but I think for him, he was sort of soft saving already. Like, if my 2 teammates on the site die, I'm just going to run away. Not to be. Last man is Krabeni. If it tours long with a 5-7, I don't think he'll be given too much of a look in. Oh, spotted out by the AWP, so now he is a known quantity. They don't really need to fight him. They know it's a pistol. It's not really worth their time, to be honest. Does have half armor, sure, but let him live. As long as your 4 do, and that is the case. So, these are some pretty decent rounds being chained together here by Bait. They had a change in leadership as well midway through last year, where Bait, you know, there was a side who were doing quite a good job of climbing the ranks and becoming a bit of a certified tier 1.5 team.
Like they were kind of like FUT last year.
Exactly.
And, you know, not quite the same heights, but close.
Yeah, and then, you know, things started to go a bit downhill for them. Very, very early exits on quite consistent basis in any of the top tournaments they were playing. And it got to the point where they realized they needed to make a change. So rather than having MPL doing the calling, which he had done in the past, and he would be basically the star player and the caller as well, they changed it up, and now Alex took over the reins. And it seems since then as well, this side have got a little better in terms of, I think, just consistency of performances. It seems like he's brought a real air of stability. Like, Bates' highs were really high, but the lows were also quite low under MPL. But they found a bit more of a middle ground here.
Well, Alex is definitely IGL before. I want to say... Would it have been within Bait or maybe his previous rosters? Let's have a little bit of a look and work this out.
What are we working out?
Just sort of like who he's been playing with. I think, so this Bait roster here, that would have been like Captain Kirker and people like
Soltovsky
this.
maybe?
Yeah. So more like 2022. It's obviously been a while and it was in Go. Yeah. But I believe he was the IGL for that team for a period. But that one also swapped around. I think Captain Kirker at times also would have been the IGL there. Who else have we got? Like maybe Owner in there a little bit. Wrinkle's the name you'll know for sure.
Wouldn't have called, but for sure.
Yeah, as in like you know, would have been on that roster is what I'm saying. But yeah, so Bait kind of had a roster before. Alex actually moved out of that roster to join different teams and then sort of came back with some of the players and whatnot. I feel Ascenthia might have been in that roster at one point as well with Alex 666. So yeah, I think there's a bit of experience there, but sort of moving it around. And it all depends on the philosophy of the team and the way that they like to play, really. I think in Tier 2, honestly, I think the idea of one person calling everything kind of in the way that you might expect a Carrigan or like Alexi B or Glaive back in the, you know, all these big IGLing names, I think that kind of philosophy is not as common.
I mean, we even saw it when we spoke to Maka yesterday. We kind of asked him about what it's like in the team. And, you know, Maka, of course, is somebody who's IGL'd in the past. Even Body, when he was part of that lineup, he's obviously done some decent calling in his past. And now, of course, Gravity is the leader there. But he was saying, you know, it really depends on the side, on the map. I mean, who gets vocal. And Maka was still saying, like, I still talk a lot, right? I'm still giving ideas and still making calls on the fly. And that is kind of how CS2 has progressed. It's very mid-round heavy these days. It's very on the fly.
I think you also need people... Like, everybody needs to be chiming in with the frags.
Yeah.
So you can't have one person tanking their stats and micromanaging the whole thing.
Yeah.
The game just doesn't function like that anymore. But
that's why we value Krabeni so highly, right? Because he is one of the best fragging IGLs that we have at the moment.
But the style that they play is relatively loose. Yeah. So it's not like he is there moving the chess pieces.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's just the guy that they default to when they need an opinion or a game plan or whatever. They're like, right, this is the guy who has oversee of the whole team, you know, has final say, as it were.
Yeah, and a lot of these sides, you know, both FUT and Bait are kind of part of that parcel of where they are very loose and you know, mid-roundy and whatnot. They have like a set plan pre-round or pre-match of this is how we play and this is what we want to be doing, but it's all about adapting really on the fly. As we've been coming along in conversation, there's kind of a bit of a two-pronged attack as well. We've got kind of room towards A, but it's actually a dive down towards CT by Alex. I like that move. At the same time, they're moving towards B, and Log's got a 3K earlier. Oh, he's so close to 3 there. He gets 2. Sizzy's holding for the flank, and he'll find one of his own. He's now trying to get another. Trying to get him off that angle. They spam him down through the door as well, and down goes MPL. So what felt actually pretty clean. That's maybe a squandered opportunity by Bait.
Yeah, no, for sure. With the AWP on the lurk, I expected things to get kind of dicey. Then he has the trigger discipline of that first player jumping across, but unfortunately just not able to find the shot. And that's going to be, you know, some young man first big tournament nerves for sure. Put in with their second, still not quite enough. Still required a lot of heroics. I mean, the transfer going up like that, it's just crazy how difficult they can be to land. But he does get it done. Either way, you know, not to be immediately the negative Nelly here, they have to give us a few more than that, right? And they have to give us some clean ones as well. They are still in firm control, able to buy back here, and probably for the next couple of rounds if they keep those bomb plants coming. Yeah,
exactly. They've got decent residual cash, so it's spot on. I think for Bait we need, FUT may I say, we need a real level of consistency. Nice Molly AWP on the angle combo. Do they know about kensizor, who's snuck his way out, but at the same time, they've sort of traded places as Demon takes pit control. There's an AWP on the angle who finds a creep through the smoke. And this is a shutdown towards Long. Demon will lose his life, but for the most part, this is a pretty good shutdown by these two out towards Long. And Cemetery's still here. Hard posted with the AWP, and Sizzy peeks straight into his demise. Cynthia is all that's left, and he might join him in the same fray. A swing and a find. He's tapping down. It's a nice shot, don't get me wrong. Molly down as well will make life a little difficult for the AWPer. He gets a smoke down in time. He can't catch the flank. Nice round by FUT. Really, really good shutdown towards Long.
Yeah, indeed. I think fair play to them. Ultimately should be able to string a few more together here. The fact, you know, as we asked, it's clean. It is denying the bomb plant. So it's pretty much the perfect follow-up to finding that round over on B. They'll be pretty damn happy here and ultimately able to keep them coming. However, there is still a buy available for Bait. The way that the econ has worked out, it's a bit broken. Not enough to drop across. There's some utility missing. But certainly workable for a T side if they continue playing their best hand. We'll see if they have any sort of secret rounds up their sleeve.
Yeah. Heading towards lower. BL gets out in front of it for the most part. Yeah, slight tag by the HE. Lose this round, Bait, and you probably lose the lead with it. FUT will get the 4th, and they have a freebie in number 10 for the 5th. So a pretty important round to keep some control here for the T side. You have that buy that we spoke of, but it's kensizor has to take a bit of a dip. Just a deagle for him. Pretty good with it, but I think you're really looking towards the rifles to give them something in this round so he can pick one for himself. Early presence towards mid, short control being taken, and a long lurk being left there with kensizor on that deagle.
Critical smokes out here. They're getting dangerous. They're looking to move through this smoke, actually. A few breaks coming in, clear the close angles as best they possibly can. MPL going to fly down. There's low time. Panic setting in. But Jugs is able to find him. Krabeni goes down. However, Demon's position, I feel, this late on into the round is so very strong. Not revealing himself just yet. Finds the perfect timing. Doesn't get both. I really thought he would. So denied away. Meanwhile, late lurk in from Long. Cemetery able to spin around and find him. The nade has killed the planter. It's all on to Sizzy. Young blood, all eyes on him. Can he get this clutch up? He takes a dink from the pistol. Surely too many targets and eventually goes down. Oh, man, that is rough, kensizor. I'm telling you, when these hitboxes are turned around, players struggle. They really do.
He was on his side, though. It wasn't even like he was back turned. You've got to be
slightly different.
Honestly, I do feel like
three, though. Yeah,
I do feel like he's getting CS2'd a bit there. That is really, really rough. That is a heartbreaking way to not get that kill. He gets that one. That's an AWP for him to work with, and then who knows what happens. But not to be, going to call for their first time out as they're, for the first time in this series, actually in a bit of trouble now. FUT are starting to scale into this game well. Oh, we do have a break, though. This is no better time than to mention to all you viewers, come and check out the mailbag. Send us a mail. Make sure to tag the B stream in the title as well so we can see it, and then we can have a little chat about it. We've got a couple of games. We've got plenty of time to chat through some mail, but DHL mailbag at efg.gg. You know what it is. You know where it is. Go and send us an email.
Yeah.
We'll have a little chat.
Ask us some questions, you know. I feel the way it's been going, it's been like sort of stacking up for James and Dan towards the end of the day because, you know, obviously they're on the later shift. There's more emails that come through. We've not necessarily had a segment yet, actually, with the earlier start and whatnot. So
let us answer some emails for you.
Yeah.
We can, we're good philosophers. We'll ponder your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the best advice in the world. I've heard. That's what they're saying, you know.
My second calling is a therapist, they've told me. Tag on towards cemetery. Has to fall off that ankle. Lonks with that secondary. Can't hit the shot. They're taking control. He'll lose his life. Couple of missed shots there, and that's going to give them a bit of a path in towards B if they want it. They can't smoke the cross is the only issue. So Krabeni can reclaim that space, but they might just use numbers and try and barrel in towards B.
Yeah, but there's a rotation in here. I don't feel too confident about it. Lovely little setup as Krabeni holding the front line. Does get taken down. This car angle, though, is so powerful. Alex does well to trade him even from there. He is kind of trapped with the bomb now. Demon in a decent spot to try and take the fight. There's no smoke for this cross, and there's no assistance for the time being. Have they heard a step? It seems like both the AWP and the M4 pretty sure of kensizor. However, Demon goes down. The AWP can't deny the cross, and surely on 30 HP doesn't have a chance here. There's some money available, so I respect the fact that he's giving this a look. Really, really wants to make sure that they find this round. They absolutely should have been earlier on. Unfortunately, he does just have to save as soon as he crosses that threshold. He's still thinking. He does have to save, but going against the grain, is it going to work for him? No. That's why it is, for me, a should save rather than, might save, maybe save. It's a definite save, in my opinion.
No U2 up on a retake. You just got no chance, really. Yeah. If you had a rifle to work with, potentially we could say, give it a look in. Yeah, not to be. Nice round. Nice round indeed. Some really, really good shots from kensizor, that Deagle as well. The one he gets on the flank is the most important. That gives them the space in, and actually, it allows Alex to cross. He was stuck. He was known quantity. It gives them that luxury. Double AWPs for the T side. Don't see that too often, but if you get one for free, why wouldn't you? Well, since he'll lose his life, couldn't flick in time. A long control taken. There's a bit of a trade of nades behind, and Demon will take a tag. But speaking of the AWP, Cemetery will make his sing. Down goes to Senthiel, and an MP9 that's pushed on forward has found Alex. This round's fallen apart for Bait so quickly.
Yeah, FUT definitely do have a bit more to them towards the tail end of this first half. The Bait winning a couple cheeky rounds. Their individuals maybe sharper here on Dust2. Even thinking about it. Smoke's going to go down. kensizor smells a rat. Oh, there's a re-smoke. That's pretty clever.
Will he get checked? Jugs surely have one for free here. Spot that barrel. Easy find. Last man is kensizor. And now Demon makes his move. But again, make it a one-round game. And heading into towards the final as well. Of course, you're going to get a buy out of Bait, but it might be a little bit janky. Out that bomb plant. And sure, they won that prior round, but a lot invested in towards that. Another AWP picked up around the one saved. I mean, a big dip in towards the pockets, and you can see the knock-on effect, right? You still got that AWP for Sizzy, but it's a Galil for Alex, a Deagle for Cynthia, a Tech 9 for MPL. So one premium rifle, one AWP. And the Galil is kind of where you're really leaning on here. It doesn't start well.
pretty far back now for Bait, actually. So yeah, they've suffered a frag and suffered some map control. So FUT, for me, should be winning this one out. There's one player with a full belt of utility. And then some smokes. It's really not an awful lot for Bait to work with here.
Yeah, agreed.
Trickle down works this time.
Forgot to mention at the time,
Yeah.
but actually a couple of rounds ago when they had that pop in towards A and it sort of fell apart very quickly, there was actually a couple of missed smokes. The cross smokes, the one that trickled down into towards CT, didn't actually hit.
No,
so
you're
MPL
right.
dropped down and then got caught. And a few of those small mistakes have actually been creeping in towards Bait. Little bits of missed utility, missed opportunities, and this is where FUT sort of have their number. I feel like they're both hitting as hard as each other at the moment, but they're not making these critical mistakes. That's a shadow spotted though until short.
Which is interesting. So how it would work, you know, with the sun and the shadow, I'm not so sure. Maybe got to get a scientist out to check that one, but it's information within the game. It's Jugs at Car. Staying alive. Will eventually go down, but surely has done enough here. Krabeni to follow up. And FUT will manage to find the 6-6, evening up quite well. A really, really slow start from them. I believe we were 5-1. But a fantastic find in the end to keep that energy up. We'll see how this one pans out. They're going to have to clean up their act. We'll see you in a few. First time we've seen FUT in our casting history actually come back into a game, actually pick things back up and not just fall completely flat. It felt for a moment like that was going to be the case as Bait started really, really hot, losing out the first rifle in a questionable kind of manner, and then they recovered it, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe there really is something here. However, solid comeback from FUT to keep things even. Still not domination from either side. We now have FUT on the T side. Not sure what to expect out of this one. MPL going to get taken down early as they have worked through the burst in towards short, but Sizzy standing strong. Oh, for the 4-piece. Glorious. We are as yet to see why he's been picked up, why he's a name that we should really have under our microscope. This pistol's given us a great example. kensizor peeks up and steals it.
He was rotated over as well.
I know, he was so ready.
Kenzie gonna let him take a fight just for the love of the game. That probably would have been his first ace, right? So, good effort though. Really nice shot down. It was looking like short was lost. It's a nice move. It's an Xbox smoke, which we don't see as much of as kind of a priority. Obviously,
yeah,
the
sort of like
door
a classic one.
Yeah, sort of the priority. But Longs uses the Xbox smoke to get up and then fight for the first. But Caesar does so well to isolate duels. Pretty well done. Oh, Krabeni. Little accidental jump there.
Yeah,
it's all right, not costly.
Shoot then jump for luck.
Information gained. MPL. Hello. Auto shotgun. Oh, well, Sizzy. From a great round.
It was for luck.
Great round to a nothing round.
The jump after the shot, you know, it empowers your next shot.
If played right, MPL could get a lot of money here. They're looking towards a split with some mid presence.
He's in a good spot for whatever they decide to do, because it doesn't look like they're going to go long.
Now as well, you can see they're dragging Ascenthial in towards upper tunnels, so then MPL doesn't really have to worry about behind him. He can hard focus on this mid fight. Ascenthial can wait here, and MPL... Oh, there's money to be made here. I can just smell the cash. Oh, only one as well for him. An instant trade with the Glock by Demon.
Hold the phone here. Might be onto a round. Krabeni with the scout up short, see if there's any aggression there. Ascenthial close here. Has got to get all of these, and he's immediately traded as well.
By the auto.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why I was sitting forwards a dangerous weapon that you don't necessarily need armor. You know, the aim punch doesn't come into play as much. It's going to be the two-man recovery. They're moving in really quickly here, but it's the auto shotgun again that will get the better of them. And man, a solid eco, just the scout bought up, and they're able to take it in pretty good fashion. 3 players surviving.
Yeah, a cheeky chuckle from Demon as well, as he's just used their own weapon against them. The first shot's actually really nice with the Glock. He's very fortunate he's already tagged up, but yeah, he does well. I mean, those sort of ranges, doesn't matter what gun you have, you're not coming out on top of the XM. XM1114, one of my favorite guns, and moments like that is exactly why, but a great round to steal away for FUT. And we speak about it a lot. It's not the pistol that's the most important, it's that force bite that really dictates the early kind of momentum in the game. And unfortunately, the flip side as well, for Bait, they're going to come back into and have to go into a buy off the back of the attack pause, but just can't bring a lot to the table. They've just lost the round, so they're hoping they can do the same with a scout bought up for MPL. Shall see. Sad to see that nobody from FUT kept hold of the XM either. Opting for a FAMAS over it.
Yeah,
shame.
True.
Shame on you.
Get that tunnels domination going.
That's how you entry B with an XM.
Yeah.
That'll give you the entry.
Yeah. It's a classic weapon, bro. Left 4 Dead on the XM. It was like the best weapon in Left 4 Dead.
One of the early COD games as well.
Yeah,
it was pretty clean.
Brings back some real memories. Ooh, MPL. His scout could do a lot from here. I think they know it. I think they're weary to give him the fights. Got to be careful. Jugs is left pretty low, but sort of trapped in slightly at long now. A lot of effort to get out of long, so you might as well try and use it to your advantage. MPL missing shots. In theory, this would allow the gap to close, and eventually his head will roll. Ascenthial, the Deagle still, you know, give him a good look in on this one. If you can find that low HP player first, or quick 1D round the corner before that bomb goes down.
Like that.
Might be something happening. Takes that kill. No damage alongside it. He gets a taste of his own medicine, though. And it is now the lead. I mean, FUT putting themselves in a fantastic position, I think, after winning that eco, as you would expect. But they have a real chance to keep this CT side under the cosh.
They're in trouble. I think they realise it as much as we do. But they are in a really, really rough spot. Low buying towards this one. FUT should get the 9th, and there's only one more tag time out to work for Bait as well. Difficult predicament. When do we use it? I actually wouldn't even mind them using it towards the next gun round. I feel like if you lose this next gun round, you're playing such a recovery game, which is not really possible for this side. The consistency required would be maybe just a tad too much against a side of FUT who are really ramping up in towards this game. And we're starting to see the individuals really hit hard. I mean, Jug started 0-6 in towards the game, now 9-11. Demons flying as well. Krabeni continues to be a force to be reckoned with. Opener for him. The MAC-10. There's more bodies around, and there's more cash to be made with the SMG. Looking for the 3rd. He'll get it. Job done by him. 3 kills for the price of 1 on a MAC-10. You'll take those odds every day.
A bomb site ripe for the taking as the utility comes over. Alex is pretty low. The nades might see him off, not quite. They're after him. They really want to kill this guy. Indeed they will. So again, a relatively costless round for the side of FUT. Starting to pick up a lot of momentum here, feeling pretty confident. And again, as we say, this is a matchup for Bait where it becomes a bit interesting of like two teams, similar styles, similar approaches, leaning on the riflers, the individuality, and two teams as well, a similar sort of crossing point, as it were. So it's a test, I think, for Bait to see, are they a bit fluky? Is Furia just really, really shaky this event? Can't beat anybody? Or are Bait actually looking decent? It's a really important game. Demon, he says they're looking like easy frags, to be honest. There will be some quick trades back.
Says he's in trouble. Longs is here, and a rip ahead. Now they've got A-side control. Now MPL's in trouble. He's got a decision to be made. Do I continue to hold this long control, or do I double back towards the site? 2 versus 2, and he's making a move here. MPL, this is bold, and I love it. This timing is nigh on perfect. He's in behind here. This is the bomb. Dead to rights, but he squanders the chance. Oh, he's just a little giddy for the fight, and in doing so, now Krabeni steps up the pace, and he'll run all the way towards the A side. MPL had a freebie there, and he fumbles it. And now they're going to be playing retake in this 2 versus 2. Longs up close. Krabeni gets that C4 punched in. Orp out. Makes up for the earlier mistake, and it's all on Long because he's looking for the fight. He just doesn't know where they are. One towards short, one towards long, and they're playing quite patient as well. And they're going to join each other as they both are going to progress up long. He's holding the cross.
Well, Tov on the site. They're not really sure of where he's at. He's playing a really, really unorthodox angle. And he makes it work for that second, letting the first one cross, knows exactly where he is. Damage, nade, not quite the kill, 11 HP, and the jumping AK to get it done. That is absolutely gorgeous from Longs, man. So well played. Comes in as a soldier for this team, the oldest guy, the most experienced guy. But he can also put up the numbers and win the rounds.
Yeah, that's textbook. Really, really is. And you can just see it's a similar point that I brought up earlier. There's small mistakes that are costing Bait, and it's the same kind of mistakes that FUT aren't making. They're a bit more clinical. They're a bit more clean in their Counter-Strike. These sloppy errors aren't creeping through. And if you allow them to, a player like Longs will punish you. That first shot that he hits on the cross is incredible as well. That tap in that 1 versus 2, brilliant work. Lovely nade as well. That pulls MPL off the defuse. He could have even tried to stick it, but he just didn't really have the time to work with. And a bit of a kooky shot as well, just to seal the deal. Lovely from Longs. Really, really nice round. And for Bait, I think that potentially even could be the real nail in the coffin. That could be the straw that breaks the camel's back in this sense. I think they're going to check out a little bit. They don't have the money here. It should be up to 11. It puts all your pressure on towards your next and potentially last gun round. They're going to realize when they look at this Dust2 how many chances they've squandered. This is kind of the map that'll keep you up at night, especially if you lose the series from it.
They have opted to play safe as well. Not sure how things are going to pan out. As you say, Bait making a lot of these mistakes. Are they going to be able to patch them? Is it a symptom of the way they like to play? You know, we saw them just like a Rottweiler out of the gates, honestly. Absolutely demolishing those early rounds.
Terrible flash.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's why you don't flash yourself, you see.
Yeah. Longs doesn't go off the back of the flash. The second, however, is not bad. He just doesn't clear a close corner. Alex is here.
Need a molly for it, man, and a bit of a spam. They just have no idea of him.
have mollies to spare. But it's whether they actually want to go for mid-control. CT to cross smoke will come through. We're triple stacking B here. The bait side. The pop shot's a nice idea. Gonna go for the close one. Anybody gonna spam it? Alex still just hiding in plain sight a little bit.
I guess they have no reason for it.
Yeah.
First fight comes in towards short.
That's also A site taken, and probably the round all but done as well. 1 kill is sealing the deal here. That's the issue of a gamble stack. It's inherently a gamble, funnily enough. And well, this one doesn't pay off.
No, they might give it a look. I mean, look, they're going to buy into next rounds. A few players with armor and whatnot. The MP9s are workable in the next, I guess. But you probably do want stronger weaponry than this.
Yeah, I think they've
said that it's the MP9s that are saving, while the other two are having a tiny little look.
I think they have to be upgrading for me if they want a chance. Technically, if you think about it, if you keep the lesser weapons and you convert a bonus by, your chances are increased because you're going to have more long-term cash.
Yeah, it's just they need the rounds.
Also, your chance, exactly, of getting a bonus buy to be converted is so slim, especially against a FUT who are looking as fearless as this.
Yeah, I think it's the armor.
Yeah.
Cheaper head armor, and then they'll move on to the M4s for sure.
Nice nade.
There you go.
A shot.
Sizzy gets his reward. Not quite for the second. 11 rounds, though. I mean, FUT on just a crazy win streak. You know, there's been a couple blips here or there. But ultimately, they're able to reset them into this half, right, after the pistol. And they just kept it going at the end of the first half. So really, I think the rifle rounds and the main rounds, the important rounds, just all been about them, to be honest with you. It's a real run of, like...
I mean, look, it's 11 out of the last 13 rounds for them, right? And you're looking at kind of just even some of the smaller stats around it, like MPL 0-5 in opening duels compared to the other side, where basically everybody is positive in opening duels, bar Jugs, being a slow start to the game, so we'll give him a bit of credit there. But it's just all the stats that are necessary for the success of FUT right now are ticking into place. You get 1 MP9 for kensizor kept in play, but around that, the full buy and upgrades all in play for Sizzy, who he's not on a terrible game, to be fair. There's none of these like super heroic moments at the moment. Then again, on the flip side, Cemetery hasn't been lights out either. This game hasn't really been decided by the AWP with his rifling cores. And in particular, people like Krabeni, like Lonks, Sizzy. Loses his head. Cemetery, patience for him. All nail the first. MPL makes a move and he'll catch Lonks. It's a big person to drop because we know his impact. And he'll get a second behind it and stays alive. Good work by MPL. He's given the ability to completely reset, but they don't have to be sight.
Yeah, real machine play coming in from him there. Senfial does have a gap, a pretty large gap. Cemetery with this smoke is lagging behind as the players have already made it out. They want to fight, but I think they just really need to stay alive. Demon with a dangerous one does get traded. Oh, smoke's gone to Mars as well for the door cross. I was looking at the minimap, like it's taking a little while.
Where is that? Is that on top of this tower?
I think it's out the map. I think it's just gone. To be honest, I'm not even joking. It's all the way to Mars. Like, we can't even see it, to be honest. 2-on-2 here, though. And a real position of power for the CT side. That bomb is so afraid to cross. He's incredibly low. Just going to have to take the risk as that clock winds down. Ooh, an unneeded peek, but maybe a catch was available there for MPL. He doesn't quite find it. So they will get that bomb down, but he's got some good control and info to work with. It's all on Jugs to clutch this up. Such an important round to be taking, and it's bait that get it.
Oh, bailed out by the finest of margins.
Yeah, the failed smoke, really.
Yeah, it really did make life really difficult for them. I wonder where that smoke even went. Like,
I think it's obviously meant to like bounce off something at the back of the map.
Yeah, bounce off the wall and it trickles back towards the door.
It just didn't bounce, so it just kept going. On the minimap, it was like...
Interesting, because it's not that hard of a smoke generally.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of panic going on, though, with players being out, waiting for this smoke, really needing this smoke.
I will say as well, for MPL, he does excellently in this round. He opens it up and closes it too. Like, he has an absolute flyer of a round. And second time out for FUT. They will show the respect over towards bait. They've still got the breathing room, but they just don't want to allow them any way back in. They've still got a few rounds in arrears for them, but it's just about that making sure I'm back in. It's no issues in that sense, but they know there was a couple of mistakes. And just as we've been saying kind of all map long, bait are the ones making the small issues, and bait are making these kind of problems for themselves, and the same thing isn't happening towards FUT. They're a little bit more clinical, a little bit more clean in that regard. they have a bit of a sloppy round, and that's where Bait punish. So can't afford to let the foot off the gas or slow down by any means. If you start to coast, Bait will punish.
No, it is true. I mean, you know, timeout, I think, taken to just even things out. It's one of those rounds that we talk about sometimes of, like, you lost it rather than the opponents winning it. I think they were definitely in a winning position and just squandered it. So got to make sure that doesn't happen again, and also make sure that the mess of the previous round doesn't get to them mentally. So let's find a reset. Let's just go through whatever this round is called, you know, whatever the call is. It's simple. Ooh, MPL thinking getting aggressive there, but it's a flash after the Molotov that convinces him otherwise.
Smoke down, nade behind. FUT are just incrementally working their way up mid. That's an interesting smoke. I guess it gives them the cross, but very exposed to any potential door angle. Molly on towards the corner. What is the play here, though? Because the bomb's still over towards B tunnels. Keep your eyes trained on that.
I saw this one.
Oh, yeah. Freya and Machine a little...
There you go. Those are the big lineups.
And it does trickle down. That's
not perfectly, you know. The lineup Machine had, it was really good at filling down below. But then this has got a bit more room above. Yeah. Maybe makes it harder to, like, break, potentially. So there's some nuances to the smokes, of course. Krabeni gonna find the first. However, the main hit coming in towards B here. They look to burst through. Not ready for the player at Car, who's doing a lot of damage. Will go down. It's more kensizor that doesn't get an awful lot going for him, though. Still low HP bars and only just getting that bomb down. The Molotov, I think, stops Alex from just barreling on in and trying to capitalize. 2 flashes, 1 molly. All picked up. They save it.
Yeah, wow. Old call.
They don't know the damage.
Yeah.
If they did, I'm sure they'd have a look.
I felt like Krabeni was confirmed damage, at least in towards window. But yeah, I think you're right. I didn't realize maybe how good they had it. And then also the fact that there's no leftover utility for FUT to kind of, you know, for the cross or to molly in towards window. Hey, that's the kind of round that you really could have given a look into. Says you'll get one as a consolation. But it's FUT who find themselves on map point now on their opponent's map pick. And for Bait, it's just one of those, again, in hindsight, they might look back at the VOD and be like, we should have given that one a look in, especially at this late stage of the map as well.
Yeah, this is the thing with, like, the saving creeping into, you know, obviously dominating there, not even creeping in.
Yeah, actually storming in, I think.
Yeah. FUT, though, are a team themselves that sometimes give a round like this a look, you know? I just feel like you have to take the risk, the percentage-based Counter-Strike against a team like FUT, who are unpredictable. And, you know, we've interviewed a couple people that have actually beaten them, right? Particularly, I think it was Stair that we had on that talked about them.
And Maka, I guess we spoke to him yesterday.
Yeah. But Stair, we asked some pretty good questions about FUT, and I remember him saying, like, you know, because, it was like Astralis had been beaten, and then they beat them, and we interviewed them after Astralis beat them. And I kind of asked, like, you know, do you think this is a team that you've managed to, like, figure out? Obviously, it's not been loads of time, but the difference in the 2 games was pretty big.
0-2 and then 2-0'd. It was,
and just also quite dominant.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know about figuring out, you know, they're very unpredictable. They're hard to deal with. They have so many, like, different calls and whatnot. And I feel like that's a team that maybe you do have to just send it against them from time to time.
Fight fire with fire, ultimately, right? You have to be unpredictable yourselves. I mean, that's what Astralis felt like they were against this FUT side.
Yeah, definitely the change-up, right?
Yeah.
Trying to not run your own rounds and just play pretty reactive.
And we spoke about this heading into that 3D Max game, where we said the best thing that they can do is not fall into FUT's playstyle. Like, you can't afford to go into a bare-knuckle brawl against FUT. They're a side who will happily kind of go down into the mud and brawl it out with you, duke it out. And that's the worst kind of game to play against a side because they're so good at it. They're so good at just taking these really puggy affairs. And, well, for Bait, I thought that was the perfect time if you really wanted a bit of a change-up. Molly down to force him off the corner. He was going to re-aggress. He's so blind and so damn dead. Demon swinging and finding. And now they're going to scale in towards the A side, but not immediately. A Molly down will slow them down. And they've got a bit of time here. 45 seconds. They don't need to commit. And there still is a player, Jugs, out towards Long, who's waiting to set up that flank.
Trickle smokes come in once again. Keeping it simple, no real variation on this. They will drop one in towards CT2, in fact. to just mix up proceedings. However, they're pretty ready for it. It's that second player who makes all the difference. He does get spammed down, but it's a 2 versus 2. Plan for long, play the bomb. Hopefully keep it as simple as that.
There's a lot of util on both sides. Kenzie's got a full belt. Cynthia's also got a flash as well.
Wow, they're trying to play it as quietly as possible. You see how they don't jump up Xbox?
Yeah. Also worth mentioning, no kits, by the way.
Yeah, maybe an oversight not to have one. Is there one down on the site? Is there one retrievable somewhere? Yes, actually, Kenzie does manage to get his hands onto one. That's what he was looking for. Not loads of time left on this bomb. They'll get a smoke on top of it. Get that kit player on it for the game, to be honest. Break comes in, and that's the kill they needed. Cemetery to find the other for insult to injury. Beautiful game from FUT. It took them a long time to get going. Felt like Bait were in control for a long time, and maybe the whole time if it carried on the way that it's
never going to win maps and series with scorelines like that. We need the superstars to show up. We need your kensizors, we need your MPLs really firing in all cylinders if they want a chance to take down FUT.
Yeah, I mean, they're close to it, for sure. It is just some of the supporting cast that maybe not quite able to help out or have moments. I think that also comes into play, but still, I'm weary of this map. I really do think that, you know, Bait could come out and just all of a sudden figure the map and be like, oh, okay, maybe we can shoot back here. Bit of pressure removed in a sense, that it is this Anubis and, you know, comes in as a pretty tough one. But backs up against the wall now and knockout on the cards, of course. So we'll see what they've got for us. Cynthia to open with one on the Julies. He's that lone B defender, though. They will be quickly trying to flank around and rotate in. Try and cage the T's here. MPL good for one. Surely got to go down. Low HP. Low ammo, I would have thought as well. They do chase him down to find that frag. But in doing so, they've left a lot of space on the site itself. It's going to be a full 10-second hold coming in here from Alex. Can they find him in this smoke?
Oh, no.
Knife is out. It's close. It's close. Oh, my goodness. Krabeni just manages that circle looked full to me.
Yeah.
So it must have been awfully close.
Right in the nick of time there. Just down to the last slash. If you miss one more slash, they do defuse that bomb. Oh my, that is close. It's good to get around out the gates though for FUT, and especially being that it is a pistol as well. We kind of spoke about that. Bait, it elevated their score more so than what their ability actually showed in towards that first map with the pistol round. So finding that to start is nice.
It was 2 in a row, I think he needed to land there as well.
Oh,
yeah, that's
God,
really quite close.
Half a second maybe. But with the kills found, Bait will be forced buying back in. A gamble here towards B. The bomb is looking in the direction of A, and at the same time we're talking about this, Alex is actually slightly moving off the site over towards camera. It feels like Long's actually just a bit of a bait and switch, kind of sell the routes.
Lonks. Oh, great find from him, actually. I thought he was going to be dead to rights, overlooked that angle. Oh, Demon making money as well. The Mac 10s are taking all the glory here. Just Sizzy and Alex. You have Sizzy in close proximity, but he's going to get beaten as well. Man, the Mac 10's rich as hell right now. It's all down to Alex on the other side of the map.
Yeah, a lot of money being put into those back pockets, that is for sure. On track for the flawless round, no less, as well, against the force buy, which would be really, really sick if they get it for FUT. Alex doesn't realize the player up behind him, and Krabeni will see off the last. Nothing to be gained from Bait in that one. So the second found, the third will come for free here. Won't be any sort of talk on investment. All Bait. It's early in towards this game, but it's not a good sign if we're in a force buy, we're not even getting a kill. He said we need some real superstars to show up. We need some real numbers on the side of Bay, and especially from that rifling core, and so far, not so good.
Deagle's ringing off. Krabeni actually lucky to be alive. Felt like those bullets were quite close to finishing him. So just got to be careful here not to lose too many heads, right? I think you want this one to be super clean. And of course, we did see, you know, low buy round for FUT is what started their domination in the second half in particular.
Oh, hello.
kensizor finds an isolated player, going to get his hands onto an AK. decision to make now. Does he want to get involved in the action? I think he's trying to just sneak out of here and hold on to that as best he can.
He's all the way in spawn. I think, especially if they were to kind of dive in towards the A side, he would be free to save. Now he actually might be the closest to the action in a way. He's fine made. Smoking a flash behind it. They're getting the exit kills around. And even still, kensizor's continuing to maneuver his way forward. Bomb planted. Kenzi's making a move through the smoke. He should be dead in a second. He will get one. Does Kenzi expect a second? He's double checking towards Pillar. He'll lose his life eventually. It's all now on Alex. You can't find the shot, the deagle. 3-0, a little expensive. Couple of consolations, but FUT won't be too annoyed about that.
No, it is true, and they managed to recover that AK, actually, which was one of the scarier guns in that round. You know, a bigger gun to take away and deny, etc. So they'll be happy to have recovered that. But now it comes into a pretty important barometer as bait for like 2.5 halves of Counter-Strike have not really shown us very much. So now is a chance to change that narrative and try and remain competitive here in this knockout series.
Long 6 in that molly. Only for 1 damage, but it's an information gather. He will take E-box control. Blocked by a smoke, another in towards main as well. They're going for a B dive here. They might send all 5 in. It'll be a bloodbath. There's 3 bodies here to meet them. The first fight is a missed shot. Demon and MPL trade blows. Krabeni and MPL again. He's trying to stand tall from backside. And MPL has given life in this round. 4 kills to his name and now 1 versus 2 for the AWPer.
Unbelievable lineup from NPL. Just a Molotov here to Symmetry's name as he looks to try and clutch things up. 1 versus 2. Going to go clearing in towards Dark and Canals. Clever. Clever. Good information for him to work with now. Likely that they're just coming in from the same angle. Clean shots need to be landed. Smoke onto the bomb, though. That's kind of the AWPer's worst nightmare. Molly comes in. He gets aggressive ahead of it. Finds the first. Oh, the no-scope is so close. How? How has he not landed it, they say? Alex will clutch up, but I think it's going to be close, you know. I don't know if he has a kit. We might want to get back on the bomb if we can. I think it's going to be very, very close here. He just about gets it with maybe a second and a half. So not quite as tight as I thought it was going to be, but all the same, that was dangerous. That was very close, and the no-scope just missing
millimeters away. What an effort from MPL, though. This again, just line up perfectly for him. Said we needed a bit of a hero. We get it. From the guy who has always been sort of the captain, the voice of reason in this side. There's some fight in bait, which is good to see. Well, in the grand scheme, that was a bonus by Sizzy. Nice shot on the break of the smoke. Jugs will get caught.
Lonks up quick, trying to find a trade here. He takes him down low, he nearly gets caught. Flash in hand. He's so good at these spray transfers, man. Really been on it. He had one on the previous map. That one not quite as flashy, but I also feel like he's just had a few across the course of the week. Sizzy does manage to find one back, but there's 3 more to get through here. His teammate is not really with him at the moment. Actually on a very long and awkward info-less flank, as it were. They don't have a kit available, but he catches Symmetry sleeping. Ooh, maybe back on. I think with that kill, for me, it confirms it. Unless Alex can defy the odds here. He's spotted out, wins the fight against the first. Can he win it against the second? Sure, he just got to play the time here around the pillar.
Lonks is low.
He knows it's gone. He knows it's gone. No time. Take the AWP and save. Just about able to get that 1 foot.
It's not a bad effort. It really isn't a bad effort. I think Sizzy with the AWP does really well maneuvering around the site. And in the end, it's an AWP save, and that'll be about as good as it gets. AWP save, 4 kills. It's not bad, but you can rapidly see that the pace that FUT are putting on paper is looking really dangerous. So an early tack timeout taken on the CT side. Not really too much to converse about for FUT. The game plan is kind of working. They're just maneuvering as a pack. This is something that FUT really like to do. We spoke about it. These sort of bare knuckle brawls is where FUT are really in their element. That's a decent example of it. You're diving in towards the site and just hoping you trade effectively. It obviously can work against you, as we saw the MPL spray down. In that instance, Lonks just had to stay alive around Pillar. Times his best friend, and FUT extend the lead to 3 rounds once again. Very quickly. As well, these rounds are really punchy from FUT.
Sizzy getting aggressive, looking for the first kill. Even just yet, but he's able to cover his teammate. However, he can't protect his head. That is what rolls. Krabeni in our middle, opposite end of the smoke here, could be very dangerous. Ooh. NPL crossing through. They have both managed to make it past him, though. Oh, one spotted. Surely not the second. Demon looking to capitalize, but there's NPL striking. Demon, however, still goes unchecked.
Wow.
And they think it's safe. They fly through into his crosshair. He makes quick work of all 3. So clean and so well played with the opportunity presented.
Yeah, Demon, he's so clean. It's just an oversight. I can't really even blame Bait for it. They only spotted one on that kind of cross through, and Estential was just trying to buy a little bit of time. He doesn't expect Demon up close. Nice work, but you can't really account for that second play. They didn't do the proper check for it. Nice move. Estential tries to trade there, but what a kind of reaction from Demon. That crosshair train in the sky. 5-1, money broken for Bait. Rid of pistols for the most part. 1 MP9. Flashes are coming through. Mid-control taken very quickly. Sizzy given the luxury of getting out, but he's about to be smoked. EL. Trying to support, but Demon just can't give him opportunities like that. He's so unbelievably sharp.
Yeah.
And like we said, you know, we kind of feel like we've missed him for a really, you know, a big portion of this tournament. We haven't seen the best from Demon. We're seeing some of the best from NPL, though. Nice double D from him. He's swinging towards mid, but a missed opportunity. And Long sees it off. It's close, though. 1 or 2 more shots hit, and FUT are in a bit of trouble there.
That is naughty. That is very, very naughty indeed. Yeah, everybody looking sharp in their own right in places. It's just placing the round. Unfortunately for Bait, it's NPL who does look sharp, but the rest of the squad not able to keep up. Not able to give us their quota of 1 kill per round, maybe 2 once in a while. It's just not happening. Timeout coming in from Bait here as FUT set to take a very one-sided affair if things continue like this. A big rifle round, you know, when you hit the 6 marker, it's a pretty big turning point. Could get up to 8 rounds, and, you know, if you really keep them in the dirt, these rifle rounds are not going to be too hard, right? They'll lack that one key flash or the kits as you see in this round. Yeah,
it's on track to get kind of ugly at the moment, and Bait are really trying to cut the bleeding off. But it's not a good look.
If NPL doesn't buy a kit, I'm going to be kind of annoyed. I don't think he is.
2 seconds.
I feel like he would have bought it by now.
No.
That's
no kit
silly
at all.
Silly for me.
For Bait. We'll see what the ramifications of that are. Is that going to be an oversight later down the line? Guess it's okay if you end up winning out the aim duels, but you caught into a retake and you don't have it. That'll hurt. NPL swings. Damage dealt towards the orb. Making a nice move here. Kenzie can just creep under carpets. And holding this water angle is really strong, but NPL will lose his life. Another opener, swing and a miss. Kensizor, now a known quantity. His best option is falling back to safety of the A-bomb site. Which he does. Nice work.
In isolation, certainly could be good. Meanwhile, we've got a light execute coming in. Whether it's followed up on remains to be seen. 2 in towards middle, yeah. I don't think they're like hard faking if the middle guys can find space.
You say that, the bombs are taking over with them.
They are now.
More A presence. That's a complete ruse. And it's worked. I mean, it's dragged numbers off of the A site. But with the lack of actually commitment to the execute, now Bait start to smell a rat.
Yeah. Joining together. Shadow spotted, but Cynthia not able to find the kill. Kensizor kind of knows what's up though with that, at least. Molly down at camera, nade to follow up. Doesn't actually do any damage. They're so low here. I mean, there's potential for many, many kills if he plays this correctly.
Oh, like that.
And they're so on top of each other. It's easy for him, in fact. Cemetery, the only one left, looking to take the fight here if he can. creeping in, doesn't have loads of time to go. They jump round and force the shot out. He's got a molly of his own to keep them at bay at camera. Fakes things out and draws some attention. Sizzy thinks he's safe. It's all on to Alex, who's not moving a muscle until he absolutely has to here.
He has no armor on the AWP.
Got to pull off a reload. That fully gives his position away now. Alex knows where he's at, but he's baited out the shot himself. Can he beat the AWP is the ultimate question. Is he faster? Oh. Yes! It's very well played on the shoulder peak. Trigger discipline not quite there. So close for symmetry, but good God, you could see it brewing. You could see it brewing, and Kenzie delivers.
Yeah, you could definitely smell the fumble on the cards there. Nice work from kensizor. They were all so low and so tagged on that foot side. Really only needed body shots, but he's so clean with it. Honestly, if Symmetry had one more bullet, he might have stuck around for that second fight. He had 20 seconds to work with after getting Sizzy. And in that 1 versus 1, if he had the ammo, he actually might have been confident to continue the aggression. But Bait, after their second time out, will finally get a second round. Now looking to stabilize this CT side. They need some sort of foundation to fall back on. They cannot afford to be going towards their T side with sort of any less than 4 rounds, in my opinion. Yes, it's a T-sided map, but any less than an 8-4 half, and Bait are in serious trouble here. Ooh. You've seen this move already, though. This should be a known quantity for FUT. We saw it happen earlier for kensizor, where he made the move under carpets. Jokes is holding for it, sure, but anyone who moves out of stairs should keep an eye. Trained Symmetry had a gap, but a missed opportunity, but there is a naughty flank here.
I mean, from like the entire team, look at where the T's are at. They've just spread out like ants here. They've managed to find a big gap.
I hate ants.
Yeah, well, exactly. They appear out of nowhere. You're like, how the hell did you even get into my house? How do you get rid of them? And unfortunately, these ones fight back. Ants with AKs.
Oh, dangerous that.
That'd be a great movie.
It's like Sharknado.
Yeah. Radioactive ants
with
taking
AKs
over the world.
Yeah. Planet of the Apes, but it's Planet of the Ants.
Yeah, hey.
We're cooking it.
We might want to be careful. Someone's going to steal that. Someone's going to steal that idea.
Sony Pictures, you've got my number. Give me a bell. I'm cooking on gas over here. This round's all but done. I'm surprised even going for a little look here. Potentially the MP now looking for an upgrade, but aside from that, it's just not even really worthwhile sticking around. They're not going to get given the exits in this direction either. Already got all this water, the T-spawn control, so that's where you're going to go for the safe passage of staying alive. But finally 7th. I love the instant response as well from FUT. Like, you lose a round due to kind of close margins, you go back to the same site, but this time with considerably more pace behind it. Like you mentioned, like, by the time that round had even kind of got to the point of being fleshed out, FUT was so aggressive, like through the site into all the rotating angles. And an oversight from Bait, which is oh so costly. Guaranteed lead now at the turn of the half as well for FUT. They're in a fantastic spot. There is nearly nothing to complain about.
Gonna be buying back in here as well. Just trying to think, who do we have star in the move?
I mean, it's got to be Dwayne The Rock. That feels like right.
Oh, okay, yeah, true. And then like...
It's like we just get the cast of Jumanji. Dwayne The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black.
Oh, I'm sorry, I opened the door on this. I don't know if that's...
Like...
If I want to be a part of it anymore.
Who are the kind of the key big stars that are going to be part of like absolute like shit tier movies? Like that is them 3, and then...
What do you mean? It's going to be good.
Scarlett Johansson maybe as well.
Yeah.
He's using the...
We just need to like box office slop this, you know, with
100%.
big names.
And then just like make the whole movie out of AI as well.
Yeah,
just really,
yeah, true. I was going to say we get Andy Serkis in, who's like the you know, the classic
he can be the
mocap expert. He'd be like the lead ant.
Yeah, control of the ants. Yeah, he can be the king of the ants.
But you might be on something that we just make it AI.
Yeah,
we could probably do that this afternoon. Actually,
Google Gemini is going to be working overtime this afternoon. Post B stream.
Make me a movie, ants with AKs,
starring
Dwayne, someone who looks like Dwayne The Rock Johnson but isn't him, so we don't get copyright.
Yeah, we can't pay him. Yeah. Someone who looks like Dwayne The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, not Karen Gillan. I don't know why I can't stand her as an actress. Is she in Jumanji? She's like the Scottish one. She was. Yeah, she was
the one from
like ginger
Doctor
one.
Who?
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen Jumanji. I don't know why. I just know those 3.
I don't like her as well. To be fair, the other names that you mentioned, Jack Black at one time, but now I've had enough of him. Do you know what I mean? went too far. We should have stopped him after School of Rock.
School of Rock, you know, that's my most watched film.
Yeah, probably same, to be honest.
No joke, I've easily seen that film 200 times.
Yeah.
Easily.
Back in the DVD era, right? Yeah. It's the perfect kids movie.
Put it on and I could do the whole script. I could do the whole movie. Like,
with the eyebrows, I really tried, at the door, trying to do. I can only do one eyebrow though.
So
I can't be as good as him.
That was it. He's not the only defense here, but well, him and Kenzie were, and down they go. It's easy. It's even kind of dry peeking in a sense, dropping down from carpets, and Alex walks into the spray. That is as simple as a round gets for FUT. Rapidly up to 9 rounds on the C side. We question the Anubis pick, but my God, look at it now. And the woes of bait on this map continue. And this is looking even more damning than what we saw against Spirit.
Yeah, they've managed to do their homework, I think. You know, catching that map and figuring out what goes wrong, that they're just not quite comfortable enough. And ultimately, bait looked quite restless, feeling like they need to do something in every round, right? And a lot of aggression that gets in their face.
It honestly is what happens when there's like loads of ants around.
Well,
you get
exactly.
a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. You do ants in your pants, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly that. Do you ever watch that old Indiana Jones one where the ants are they're like deadly ants and they eat people?
What?
Old Indiana, it's like not it's one of the more newer Indiana Jones, but like there's like a getaway scene and they like hit one of the bad guys off a truck. It's like a fist fight on the truck and they hit him off and he like falls into, I think it's bullet ants, and they just like eat him.
Is that the one with Shia LaBeouf?
No. Not that new. Oh, who was it before? Who was in?
What?
Guys,
what is he
I'm
talking
not tweaking
about
here.
I'm the original 3 Indiana Jones, right? The Ark of Covenant.
I'm not tweaking here.
Temple of Doom.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, that is it?
Yeah, that's the one with the one with Shia
devoured
LaBeouf.
alive by a massive swarm of carnivorous Saifu ants.
Fair enough. I haven't seen that one. I heard it stunk.
I don't
want my childhood ruined because Indiana Jones was another childhood movie.
It's a 2-minute clip, halftime break, we'll put it on.
That sounds absolutely insane though.
Final round here. Lonks will dive into a fight and lose his life. This A-split's got legs behind it. There's 2 players here to meet them. One Heaven, and Alex playing up close towards camera. He's going to wait for the contact or wait for a sound. In comes the flash. He avoids it well, but he'll still lose his life and his head. Sizzy should be dead to rights, but reacts in time to catch Krabeni. 20 seconds, he can't escape the shrapnel of the HE. He's up close, Cemetery with the orb for 1, sticks around for a second, so why wouldn't you? The confidence is flowing, but maybe overconfident as he will die. 2 versus 2 in this retake, but a molly will keep them at bay. This is not an easy site to get into. There's no kits to work with for Bay either, so they're going to have to win this on raw firepower alone. Nade around the corner, a preemptive shot by Demon, and Jugs on site, biding his time. He gets one. Demon will say it off 10-2 at the half for FUT. They are cooking on gas. They are on fire, and unfortunately, Bay have no response. We'll see if they can, though, after the break.
Well, we watched the Ants clip he was talking about. It's pretty gruesome, actually. It's kind of traumatizing. I don't think I can ever unsee that.
Do you know what's also traumatizing? His bait performance.
Indeed. Absolutely. So, goodness me, I don't know that I've ever seen odds that one-sided. To be honest with you, so that's not great. For bait, which is a bar, and that's probably about as far as this one's going to go. Anyway, bait on the T side, we're going to find out if they can pick up something here, if they can make it competitive, if they can keep us believing.
Uh-oh.
Jugs does get traded instantly, though. Makes things a bit weird.
B-side's open.
Demon is down below. This is the big thing, right? He was on the way to rotate and just got the memo that they were maybe headed towards B. 15 and 5.
Covering for him.
Looking strong. Oh, spotted out now. Trying to find the head and the timing. And of course he does with him still. I mean, these are the two players you don't want to be up against. You got Demon, who's fragging out of his mind. You got Lonks, the clutch master, the spray master. It is only the pistols here, but both these players have been looking so good. Alex.
No kit.
Left to try clutch things up. It's planted for him, and they've guessed the wrong way. He's actually off on the opposite side, but Demon just can't miss right now.
He's in red hot form. He looks so unbelievably sharp. Coming towards this year as well for Demon, he averages a higher headshot percentage than any pro player in history. The highest, of course, was Scream. I think it was just about, I think like 68.3%, something like that is what Scream's headshot percentage was. Demons is just shy of 70% headshot rate. And you can see in some of those shots, you just can't give him the fights. 17 and 5 right now. And well, FUT 11 to 2. Both pistols as well for FUT. Nearly every round as well around it. I mean, it's just looking like a foregone conclusion that they're going to get a 2-0 here in this series. Bait have offered up next to nothing on this Anubis. A statement of a map as well from FUT. It's a side that have the ability to be playing in playoffs. And they should really be a side that, without too much of a doubt, should in general be going towards it. But they've struggled at the start of this stage too. Only a couple more rounds and they find themselves in tomorrow's 2-2 games.
Yep, just got to see it over the line now. Which sometimes can be the hardest part, but I think on a scoreline like this, it's not going to be the case. Molotov comes in. They will manage the first couple of kills, so indeed, I am being shut up by the bait side of things. Demon does find 2, which maybe gets us back in.
Arms not long enough.
Alex creeps around that corner, gives a kill away. And another going to come in as well. They're both moving in through Con. Krabeni, low ammo, has to move on to the USP. Can he make it work? No, he can't. Ascenthial takes him down. It's so close. But Bait able to get this round.
Just about survive. Finally, something positive to talk about with this Bait side. Long road to recovery, but that sort of relentless entry in towards the B side is nice to see. Will be a full buy-in response for FUT. They can't bring lows to the table, though. P9, few upgraded pistols. You said it, force buy is generally more important than the pistol round initially, and by Bait finding it, that might give them a bit of a pathway to recover some of the rounds in this half, but the recovery required is just mammoth. Need to take this one pretty cleanly. First couple of gun rounds before we can even entertain that conversation. Boosting towards mid. kensizor will spot nothing. One towards camera. A pop shot doesn't connect. A lot of bodies towards A as well.
Yeah, they have to be very careful now.
They're going into it. Uh-oh.
This could be a mess. This could be a huge mess. 5-7
no.
Chimes in for the first. Still 5-7's alive. Oh, man. The A-main player's got to try and recover things back. There's damage done. Certainly doable, but an upgrade. Cemetery got in there, found himself an AK. Surely has to be done from here. There's a flank coming round as well from the back. Oh, Jugs on 4 HP. Takes that peak. And that just sums it up, doesn't it? You know, 16 HP the difference to get Bait their first round. And then they can't even get through the pistols. They just walk straight into the trap.
Into that stack. And it all comes off the back of the initial camera player. Takes a pop shot and immediately runs away. And they just get giddy. They want to chase. And it was all part of the ruse. We spoke about that FUT love to draw teams into their traps. And that's a prime example of it. Really nicely done. Map and series point FUT now. And Bait a non-starter here on Anubis. Only pistols to try and keep them afloat, but this is a ship taking on a hell of a lot of water. Many a cannonball have struck the side, and yeah, they're sinking.
Jugs to find the first. I think off the back of a self-flash there.
Oh,
Alex does find one, but he's immediately traded. So knocking on the door of victory here. Going to be an A play, which actually is like their one win con to this round, you feel?
yeah, rotations are coming through quick, though.
Yeah, they did abandon it for a second, but now they're back in.
Great timing on the molly as well. There's still plenty of time, don't get me wrong. A minute to work with here for Bait. They're being flanked, though. They don't even realize it. Got Demon coming in behind as well, and Temechi probably going to make the rotation over in a second. Krabeni, Jugs combine, and Krabeni will close it. Captain Fantastic has put on a stunner here on Anubis. What a showing. And for Bait, not the map, not the series they wanted, and they now find themselves eliminated from Stage 2 of ESL Pro League.
Yeah, it's a tough one for them. They start off pretty strong, actually, being at